Okay, so if you've read the title, you know what's coming your way. So let me get to the question I have for you. Have you ever wondered how life keeps giving us completely opposite advice? On one side, life is short. The other side, plan for the future. On one side, take that risk. On the other side, be responsible. One side, live like there's no tomorrow. The other side, think long term. One side, follow your heart. The other side, save for a rainy day. One side, eat that dessert. The other side, is that good for your health? And somewhere in the middle of all of this well-intentioned confusion, I've often wondered which one is right. Because the truth is, I've now lived long enough to know that both of them are. Because life is short and life is long. The problem isn't choosing one, the problem is forgetting the other. And there were seasons of my life where I am deeply grateful I lived as though there was no tomorrow. The conversations I had before it was too late, the forgiveness I offered before pride got in the way, the trips I took, the laughter I didn't postpone, the moments where I put down the to-do list and simply enjoyed being alive. Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Nobody knows how many sunsets they have left. Nobody knows which goodbye will be the last one. And nobody knows when an ordinary day becomes a memory. And for that reason, there are some things I believe should never be delayed. Love, gratitude, kindness, adventure, a good laugh, a difficult conversation that needs to happen. The words, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you. Because life is short enough to make those things urgent. But life also has taught me something else. Life is long enough for consequences, long enough for habits to matter, long enough for our choices to compound over the years, long enough for dreams to require patience, long enough for health to matter, long enough for children to grow, long enough for careers to unfold, long enough for us to become someone. And when I look at some of the things I value most today, like my career, my health, my financial independence, raising Neil and Nia, and the learning I have accumulated over the years, none of those came from living as though there was no tomorrow. They came from acting as though tomorrow mattered, from doing things that weren't always exciting, from making choices for a future version of myself that I had not yet met. And that's when I realized something. Maybe wisdom isn't choosing between today and tomorrow. Maybe wisdom is honoring both. I often hear young people say, you only live life once, Daff. If you've heard this, YOLO, you only live life once. I think they are right. You do live only once. But if I could offer one thought in return, it would be this. Freedom is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. But freedom is also power. And with great power comes great responsibility. And yes, I borrowed that from the movie. Because it happens to be true. Don't you think so? Responsible freedom is still freedom. So, travel, laugh, try new things, take chances, explore, create memories. But leave your relationships better than you found them. Leave places better than you found them. Leave yourself better than you found yourself. That's not the opposite of YOLO. That is YOLO done well. And if I could say one thing to the people who have spent their entire lives being responsible, saving, planning, preparing, doing the right thing, please remember to enjoy some of it too. Use what you've built. Celebrate a little. Make that trip. Order that dessert. Stay up a little too late with people you love. Don't wait until life is over to discover that you forgot to live. Because one day, I hope all of us can look back and say, I had a good ride. Not a perfect ride, not a responsible ride, not a reckless ride, just a good ride. And maybe that's where I've arrived. Life is short enough to remember or remind me to love freely, and life is long enough to remind me to love responsibly. Short enough that tomorrow isn't promised, and long enough that tomorrow deserves my attention. And perhaps the goal is not to choose between the two. Perhaps the goal is to hold both truths at the same time. To live today in a way that leaves no important words unsaid, and to live tomorrow in a way that leaves the future you grateful. And perhaps that's the question I want to leave you with today. If your life ended tomorrow, what would you wish you had done today? And if your life continued for another 50 years, what would tomorrow's version of you thank you for doing right now? Because perhaps life is neither short nor too long. Perhaps life is exactly long enough for both questions to matter.